Hey guys, and welcome on into NFL Super Bowl picks and predictions. I'm your host, Terry Edelman at T Picks on Twitter, and this is going to be a shorter show where I'm just going to kind of give my NFL Super Bowl predictions. I have three plays already locked and loaded, and I'm also looking at two long shots as well, big plus money long shots. So we're going to take a look at all that, and we're going to jump right into it here with my AFC conference predictions. So I'm looking at two teams to win the AFC and go to the Super Bowl. These are odds to win the Super Bowl. So these are the two teams from the AFC that I think uh, have a good chance of making the Super Bowl. I do have one other long shot as well, which I'll give out shortly. Chiefs plus 370, obviously back to back Super Bowl champions, trying to go for that three-peat that no team has ever done before. And then you've got Buffalo. A lot of people thought the Bills were going to take a big step back this year with losing a lot of receivers in the offseason. But Josh Allen has done Josh Allen things, have been consistent for the Buffalo Bills. And the Buffalo Bills are the only team heading into week 18 that has beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, there is a team missing here that a lot of people might have expected to be here, and that's the Baltimore Ravens. And I don't want to piss off any Baltimore Ravens fans, but I'm just not that high on this Ravens team. I haven't been the last few seasons. I'm not that high on Lamar Jackson. I know it's very possible he wins another MVP, but we've seen what he has done in the playoffs, and he has not had a lot of playoff success. I don't see him beating the Kansas City Chiefs, and I don't see him beating the Buffalo Bills. So when it comes to the AFC conference, these are the two teams that I think have the best chance of going to the Super Bowl. Heading over to the NFC, I've got three teams here listed. The Detroit Lions, who are plus 460 to win the Super Bowl, the Vikings, who are plus 850 to win the Super Bowl, and the Philadelphia Eagles, who are plus 750 to win the Super Bowl. Now, I'm going to start off with the Eagles here. And obviously, they've got a lot of concerns right now with Jalen Hurts having a concussion and being out of the lineup. How healthy is he going to be for the playoffs? Is he going to be ready for the first playoff game? That's a question mark. And Kenny Pickett, their backup, left last week's game. So the Philadelphia Eagles have some real concerns when it comes to the quarterback position, and that could very well hurt them um, in their first playoff game, whenever that is. So the Eagles plus 750. Now on the other side of that, they do have Saquon Barkley, who could potentially break the rushing yards record. And if Jalen Hurts does come back and he is his normal self, then you do have an Eagles team that could definitely get to the Super Bowl. So Eagles at plus 750 is a look. And then you've got the Lions and you've got the Vikings. Obviously, these two teams are about to face each other very soon in week 18. The winner will win the NFC North and will get the number one seed in the NFC and get a first round bye. So, as well as home field advantage. So this is incredibly important game in Week 18 happening in Detroit. Now the Vikings did lose the first meeting between these teams by 2 points, and now they'll be facing each other again. And David Montgomery won't be there in the lineup. That'll be a difference from when these two teams faced each other before. So the reason why I'm doing this video now is because I do believe that the Minnesota Vikings are going to win in Detroit in week 18. So if you do like the Vikings, you want to bet them now. If you think they're going to win next week in Detroit, you want to bet them now at plus 850 because that's going to move. Uh, should they win the conference and get that first bye. So if you like the Vikings, you want to bet them now. Same with the Eagles. If you like the Eagles, you might want to bet them now as well because if Jalen Hurts comes back and is healthy, that line will likely move. And with the Detroit Lions, um, I don't really know when you should bet them if you like the Lions. If you think the Lions are going to win Week 18, you should bet them now. I don't think they're going to win. I think the Vikings are going to beat them next week. So then, if that is the case, you want to wait because Detroit will be on the road, and then you'll get better odds on Detroit. I've not bet all these 5 teams. I'm going to give out my picks that I have bet in the next segment. But before we get to the last segment, potential dark horses. These are teams that I think could pull off an upset. And when you make the playoffs, anything can happen. When you make the playoffs, the LA Chargers here, obviously, who they're going to face is still to be determined. Whether they will, it's still be to be determined who they're going to face here. So that'll be a big question mark. Um, do they face Baltimore? Do they face Pittsburgh? Do they face Houston? Um, I like the Chargers as a potential dark horse. I've not bet them yet. I want to find out exactly who they're facing. So after week 18 is over, these will be 2 potential dark horses I look at with the Chargers. And then the Commanders plus 4,000 on the other side. Nobody really thought that the Commanders were going to make the playoffs when the season started, but they've been one of the big surprises, like this Minnesota Vikings team. And you can get the Commanders at plus 4,000. Um, they're projected to face the LA Rams, but again, things have to be determined still. So these are 2 potential dark horses I have. And these are the 3 teams that I bet to win the Super Bowl. The Kansas City Chiefs at plus 370, the Minnesota Vikings at plus 850, and the Buffalo Bills at plus 600. My reasoning here, this Vikings team, obviously I am a Vikings fan. No, I don't bet them to win the Super Bowl every year. In fact, I don't ever think I have bet them to win the Super Bowl before. Maybe a $5 bet when I was first starting out betting as a degenerate. But no, I've never bet the Vikings to win the Super Bowl. But if you've watched the Vikings this year, this is just a team of destiny. And I have to have a bet on this team, and I have to bet it before they go to face Detroit next week. So I've locked in Vikings plus 850. And then looking at the AFC, this Kansas City Chiefs team is going for the three-peat. They have Patrick Mahomes. We know what this team does in the playoffs. We've seen it for 2 years now, how dominant, and even before, how dominant this Chiefs team can be in the playoffs. Plus 370. I have them plus 350 to win the AFC. I'm locking in. I locked in plus 370 as well here because if this Chiefs team does go to the Super Bowl, uh, obviously I would love the Vikings to win if it is the Vikings that go. But the Vikings have never won a Super Bowl before. This Kansas City Chiefs team has won back to back. So experience goes with the Chiefs. I have to have a ticket for them. But if there's one team that I think can beat the Kansas City Chiefs, it is the Buffalo Bills. So I want a ticket for them also, plus 600, which I've also locked in at DraftKings. So Bills was plus 600 at DraftKings, Vikings plus 850 at Bet365, and Chiefs plus 370 at FanDuel. Those are my 3 Super Bowl picks that I've locked in already. Robert says Skull and Lions beat Chiefs in the Super Bowl. You're welcome. I bet the Vikings before the season started. Very nice. You probably got a very nice price with that. Vikings money line versus Lions. Yes. The Lions will be to the Chiefs what the Giants were to the Patriots during 100-year dynasty. The Lions have a lot of injuries. It's a different Lions team now. I agree, and Sam Darnold is him. I agree. But those are my 3 Super Bowl picks. Thank you everyone for watching, and we will